Lately, I've been seeing many hunters having trouble with Barioth, and understandably so. Barioth is a difficult monster, and it ends up being the first wall players run into when they get into Iceborne, and I want to help out. I know how to make Barioth an easy hunt for you, and I'll show you this by using gear and builds that are worse than what you can make at this point in the story to show you how it's done. Let's start with what you can do to prepare before you get in the hunt. This would include your item box and your armor and weapon selection. For armor, the answer to your Barioth problems lies with Banbarrow.
Hello there.
Banbarrow has a really solid set of armor that gives you an amazing skill that will carry you for a real long time, plus the armor has great ice resistance. Honestly, I used the Banbarrow armor all the way from when I could first craft it through the last Velkhana hunt in the campaign. It's just that good. Banbarrow armor has a skill on it called Mushroomancer, which allows you to eat mushrooms as consumables that give you a bunch of buffs. There's a video going over all the details of the skill in the description and pinned comment of this video if you're looking for a longer explanation of what it does. But the long short of it is this. Stock up on toadstools, mandragoras, devil's blights, para, and nitroshrooms. And you're going to be eating these throughout your Barioth hunt, mainly the mandragoras as they act as max potions. The Banbarrow armor also has 2 points of health boost on the gloves, which is only 1 point away from max hit points for this difficult hunt. I think you should always be running health boost 3, so I look for it everywhere. The last piece of armor I grab is the bone chest piece because it has the last point of health boost I need and a bonus attack boost level 2 to get me some more damage. You can pick whatever weapon you'd like to beat up Barioth, but make sure it's one from master rank and not something you carried over from high rank. Basically anything will work if it has master rank parts to craft it. I just use the ore switch axe here because it's easy to make. Regardless of what you pick, just make sure you have a master rank weapon and use something that you're comfortable with. And for the sake of this video, to show you how to beat Barioth with just this armor set and weapon, I've made myself much worse in terms of armor skills and charms and mantles on purpose to prove a point. You should definitely slot in armor skills for your weapon and such, plus a charm and mantles that you want to use. I only slotted in the Expert Jewel +4 decoration into this build because everyone gets this jewel for free when you talk to the smithy in Celiana. I didn't want to use decorations that you may not have at this point in the game, so I just went without. And don't forget about your Palico. They help a ton in hunts. I gave Punchy gear from high rank just to show you that I'm not using some souped up version of a Palico to make this hunt easier. I used a paralysis status weapon because I like the status, but you can use whatever you'd like to use. I also gave Punchy the Flashfly Cage, an incredible gadget that traps and stuns monsters throughout the hunt. If you'd like to have this, you can get it from the Ancient Forest Expedition at any rank. Just follow the doodles to the Grimalkins. And lastly, my item pouch. There's a video on my channel about everything I use in my item pouch. I'll put that in the description and pinned comment for you as well. It goes through everything in there and how to get some of the stuff that you might not have, like the armor and power charms and talons. I used mega barrel bombs, mushrooms, a shock trap, and 2 trank bombs on this quest. I also used hot drink, which isn't shown here. The pouch looks like a lot, but when it comes down to what I actually used, it's not a big deal, so don't be overwhelmed. Now that we've got everything prepared, let me show you how to make this hunt a breeze. Fire up your quest to get started, and make sure to eat food at the canteen before you leave. Anything will do. I like to go for big health or attack up status effects. The food skills are just an added perk for me at this point in the game. They're not necessary. Then it's time to head out. After farming Teostra over and over for decorations, sometimes you just need a break. And during that break, why not learn a life skill, like coding? I've partnered with boot.dev to bring you an awesome way to learn code. It's the smartest way to learn and make sure you're never bored because all the lessons from boot.dev are online, self-paced, and it feels like a captivating RPG game. As you learn to code, you'll earn XP, levels, achievements, and complete quests to get a top spot on the global leaderboard, giving you so many reasons to jump in and make learning to code a good time. Boot.dev teaches you back-end web development from start to finish in the Python and Go programming languages and is designed to get you writing a ton of code because getting your hands on the keyboard and shipping projects is the only way to really learn. And even if you don't want to or can't afford a membership, Boot.dev's content is free to read and watch in guest mode. But for a few extra bucks, you'll unlock a paid membership that gives you hands-on coding, AI assistance, progress tracking, and the gamification that makes the content immersive. By clicking the link in the description of this video and using my discount code, you'll get 25% off your first month or your first year if you choose the annual plan. So head on over to boot.dev today and get started. And thanks to boot.dev for partnering with me. Now back to the video. Now I got thrown into the fire right out the gate, so I avoided being seen and started eating my buffs. Perish Room, Nitrous Room, Toadstool, Devil's Blight, and Hot Drink are what I eat before I start beating up Barioth. I also collected the stone pile here, so I had ammo to use for a flint shot on Barioth when I got a chance. Now, the very first attack I did against Barioth is the biggest point to make about doing this hunt. Let me illustrate it this way. See this cute dog? It's so precious. This is you. You are the dog in this video. And I want you to imagine that this little tiny soccer ball here is one of Barioth's front claws. This thing, the thing I clutch clawed onto. Now, I want you to grab a hold of that claw, that soccer ball, and rip it to shreds, just like this dog is doing in this video. Don't you stop fighting for that soccer ball. You get in there and you beat it up with everything you got. Just like this cute little dog is shaking the soccer ball to death, you need to do the same thing to Barioth's claw. Now, it's very, very important that you pick one claw to do this to, because we need that claw to be broken as fast as possible. As soon as this happens, the hunt is as good as over in your favor. But until then, Barioth is going to do everything possible to jump around and not let those claws get hit. I went for the clutch claw attack on the Barioth's left claw first so that it would be tenderized and take more damage. Now, we're going to watch just a bit of the early stage of the hunt here, and you're going to see me do a lot of dodging and healing when I get hit until I can get the Barioth to stop moving for a second. And the way we do that is through palico traps, like this stun trap. Unfortunately, I wasn't on the correct side of Barioth for the claw, so I just did some big damage where I could. But fortunately, the environment around me got another stop on Barioth through the cat putting the Barioth to sleep. Which means I'm gonna set these two bombs here to make a big burst of damage on the claw. I'm being fierce, just like that puppy, and I'm not letting go of this Barioth's left claw. I found an opportunity for a flint shot, which is another knockdown. And as you can see, I walked myself all the way around the Barioth for that claw. And I'm rewarded with a part break and another sleep. Now, I could stop right here and tell you that the hunt is over, which in one sense it is, but I'm gonna let this play out just a little bit longer to show you why that part break on the claw is so important. But first I gotta wake up this Barioth, and I figure breaking the second claw is a good thing to do. Ideally, I'd like to break the face next, but it's hard to get to. And there. Did you see that? Right there? When Barioth jumps, now he's slipping. This happens because I broke Barioth's claw, and it's going to slow him down a ton over the course of this hunt. This gives you openings to hit that Barioth right in his big dumb face for big damage. And that's why breaking the claw is so important. I got a mount here using the ledge. This is going to give me another knockdown, which is more time that Barioth isn't moving, and I can go for part breaks. I want to start breaking something other than the left claw, as that's already broken and will actually take less damage if I attack it instead of unbroken parts, which take full damage. I'm aiming for the other claw in the face, but I'm happy with any damage at this point. As soon as it's on the ground, I go for the tenderize on the other claw, because I want to break that claw as soon as possible. The cats on the map helped me again here with the knockdown, which let me get to that claw and put a bunch of damage on for free. And then I got a sleep from the cats too, which is pretty amazing. and I'm rewarded with a wake-up attack that breaks the other claw. All that's left is the face and the tail to break. Now, there's quite a bit of hunt left here. I'll let it roll in the background for a bit to get my last points in, but with the claws broken, this hunt is basically over in my favor. All I need to do now is eat a Mandragora if I get around half HP, or if my HP's fine, take every chance I can to attack Barioth. And it's so much easier to get to Barioth to attack now that its claws are broken because it slides around and stops here and there throughout the hunt. Admittedly, the hardest part of this hunt after the claws are broken is when Barioth is enraged. He does a lot of attacks in a row and it hits pretty hard, so my goal is just to take things a little slower and dodge the hip checks and big diving attacks as best as possible. Thankfully, this armor is pretty sturdy and it's really hard to cart from 1 or 2 shots, so I just need to be diligent to eat my Mandragoras when I get around half HP. And just like every monster hunt, whenever I can get a flinch shot, I take the opportunity, especially in Master Rank, because the monsters have huge HP pools and the flinch shot does a ton of damage and gives you a knockdown on the monster. Another tip for using Flashfly Cage gadget on your Palico, the Boom Bug Cage is incredible and gives you a super long knockdown of a monster once a monster has stepped on their second Boom Bug Cage. I make it a point to stand near boom bug cages on the ground to make sure monsters step on them because they give you a bit of free damage, and once they hit that second one, you get to get in there for a huge damage spike. At this point in the hunt, I see that Barioth is changing areas and I've only got 2 Mandragoras left. So instead of chasing, I just go back to camp quick to restock my mushrooms and then get back in there. The only way that I can lose this hunt right now is by running out of healing. And lastly, the end of the hunt. When you see Barioth limping, it's time to trap it. You can keep hunting it if you'd like and go for the slay, but you leave yourself open to getting carted. Instead, you can trank bomb it twice and then have it hit a thunder or pitfall trap. You've won the hunt. And that's how you can take down Barioth easily every single time you hunt it. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your next Barioth quest.